WTBQ.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us this morning. I'm Michael Giannetto with Residential Home Funding, licensed mortgage originator. Thank you for joining us on the Home and Mortgage Show.
And I'm Janine Panarelli, licensed broker, real estate broker, and owner of Panarelli.
Spit it out.
Look, I've had a really intense weekend. I'm just trying to.
I know. I want to hear about it.
I'm lucky I even made it. I'm lucky I made it. Licensed real estate broker and owner of Panarelli Realty. Happy Monday morning. This is the Home and Mortgage Show. And I'm a little tired this morning.
Yeah, I want to hear about the weekend.
Well, come on.
But before we talk about your weekend, let's talk about all this snow. Oh, my God.
You know what
2 feet
problem
of
I
snow,
have now?
2.5 feet.
So when you're at a corner and you go to make a turn,
Oh,
you can't see
see.
because you get these, 15-foot mounds on each side
it's
of
dangerous.
you. And you have to pull further out to try and see beyond the snow mounds.
Absolutely.
That's
It's
a problem. Yeah, so we're having a problem with that. And we have 2 to 5 more inches on the way.
Crazy
Yay.
the snow. I don't really mind it that much. I mean, it's a little overkill now, but yeah.
When it gets this much, it's too much.
Yeah, that's a lot.
We have
That's
nowhere
a
to
lot.
put it. We ran out of room. Where do we put all the snow?
And the neighbor's yard.
Well, I'm
Start
up on a
pushing it
hill,
across.
so there's no way. I have the wood, so I can't. Where am I putting it?
Oh,
so it's
that's a
kind of
problem.
it's getting to be a problem.
That's
We
a
have the trucks up to the top of the driveway, and my mother-in-law's car. So when I go to pull out of the driveway, I'm like, snow mound here, tractor here.
It's an obstacle course.
Where am I going? Yeah,
great.
but
I had a lot of fun
this
playing
morning.
in the snow with the kids.
I
I made them an igloo in the
Did
huge
you?
mound from getting the driveway plowed.
That's a good idea.
And I made an igloo in there. Of course,
that's a good idea.
my wife thought it was going to collapse on them.
Yeah.
But it was a lot of fun.
Oh, so
That was
I
good.
don't know. Spring thaw can't come soon. You know what? You know the flooding we're going to have?
Oh, this is crazy.
When this does
Listen,
melt, we're
these
going to have an
temperatures are
enormous
going
amount
up
of
and down.
flooding.
It's going to be 40. Did you hear the weather? It's going to be
Yeah,
40
but I
in
was
like
looking
2
on the
days.
Weather Channel. They're saying snow next Tuesday already.
Oh my goodness.
So I'm like, don't make sense.
Crazy. I was
We're gonna
watching
be
TV.
Easter egg hunting in the snow.
Yeah. Jersey City was on TV. They ran out of salt.
Yes,
and
I
they
saw
cannot
that.
reorder
Long Island
it.
was having a problem with that too. The sand
I'm
and
sure
the
all
salt.
the municipalities,
Yeah.
having a problem, but they can't reorder
Where are you
for
going to
some
get
reason.
that from? I don't know. I don't
The
know
whole country's
much
got to have
about
a
that.
shortage right now. Right? Just there's storms across the country. They're covering 3/4 of the country at a time.
Well, someone said 48 out of 50 states, or everybody's got snow.
Wait, let me guess.
Except Florida.
Florida and
Hawaii has
Oh,
Hawaii.
actually, yes.
Yeah,
and the
Hawaii
mountain
got
caps,
snow.
Yes.
Yeah, Hawaii did get snow.
Yes.
So I know Florida. I don't know what the other state is, but everybody got snow. That's crazy.
That is crazy. Crazy.
Yeah. So I'm recuperating.
Yeah. So tell me about it.
From the
Come on.
you know what last week was?
Yes, the 25th anniversary.
The big one. Last week was the big one. 25 years. So we had planned to go away. We were going to leave Thursday, but then we had this monster storm and we couldn't go anywhere. I felt bad leaving the kids and my mother. How was I going to leave them with all that snow? So we stayed home Thursday to help dig out, and then we were going to leave like crack of dawn Friday morning. But we didn't realize that we got another foot of snow.
Right.
We woke up,
overnight.
we're like, wait a minute, did we just shovel? We thought we were in a dream. We're like, aren't we supposed to be leaving now? It was a whole other foot of snow. So now we had to dig out of that, help my neighbor dig out. She got stuck in the driveway, help the other neighbor across the street. We didn't leave till 12 o'clock. We thought we were never going to get out of there. And then what happened was, so we got there, we had dinner reservations at a seafood joint, seafood shack or something like that. We went to Mohegan Sun, and we got there, our reservations were 4:30, but we got to the hotel, we got there at exactly 4:30. So it all worked out great. So Brad Paisley was playing at Mohegan Sun this weekend.
Right.
And we didn't have tickets. I tried
You're a
calling the box.
country,
I'm a country
you're a
freak.
big fan, right?
So,
Yeah.
yes, I'm a freak. So we order our food, and I said to the waiter, I'm like, listen, do you mind if I just run downstairs to the box office real quick and see if I can grab some tickets for tonight's show? He's like, yeah, go ahead, So I run downstairs, and there was nobody online. And I just ran up to the window, and the woman just looks at me. She's like, can I help you? I'm like, listen, you've got to hook me up. I'm like, look, not only is it Valentine's Day, I says it's my 25th wedding anniversary. You've got to hook a mama up. And she starts laughing. So she says, okay. I said,
Probably hears something like that all the time.
So, yeah.
And it's
No,
not
I'm
real.
like, no, it is.
Yours was real.
So I get 2 tickets, and she says, okay, do you want to be on the floor or whatever? She says, look, wherever you can get me the best tickets. At this point, I figured the show was at that night, so I took whatever 2 tickets she gave me, and I ran back upstairs. I said to my husband, I got 2 tickets. I think they're pretty good. We're not in the nosebleed seats, but... So he's like, all right, cool. So we're walking around. Show didn't start till 7:30. We're walking around, and there's a 92.5 WCTY, a country station, on. And they were advertising. They said, if anybody has tickets for tonight's show, enter to win a meet and greet with either Brad Paisley, Chris Young, or Danielle Bradbury, who was the winner of The Voice, by the way. Season 4 winner of The Voice.
Oh.
Yeah.
I saw the picture
So,
of it.
yeah.
That you put up on
So
Facebook.
my husband looks at me and I'm like, I'm entering because I know I'm going to win. He's like, okay, all right, So I entered to win, and they said, you have to be here on time, because if we call you and you're not here, then you forfeit
you're
the
out.
ticket. I'm like, great. So I'm walking around. I'm like, what time is it? What time is it? He's like, you got 10 minutes. I'm like, no, I don't. We have to go down. So we get there. They started calling names a few minutes early, so it's a good thing. And I'm standing there, and they're messing up everybody's names. They couldn't pronounce anything. Now, I don't have an easy name to pronounce, right? So we get a little bit closer, and you hear them say, Janine Panarelli. And I'm like, I look at my husband, I'm like, dude, I told you I was going to win. I told you. So I went backstage passes to meet and greet Chris Young. So we get there. Oh, so...
Look at you, you're cracking
cold.
yourself up.
Wait, it was so cold it was cold that day from shoveling the snow. You know those hot hands
hand
things?
warmers?
Yeah, the hand warmers. So we're downstairs, we're online waiting to meet and greet Chris Young, and all of a sudden I'm like getting real hot. So I'm thinking I'm
hands were in your pocket?
flashing, I'm getting hot. So I look at my husband, I'm like, wow, I didn't think I'd be this excited to meet Chris Young. And then I realized I had the hot hands. I stuck them down in my boots from when we were shoveling the snow earlier. I never took them out. And I'm getting this big hot flash come over me. So
As you call it, the power surge.
The power surge. So I take him out. We go in. He was the nicest guy, really, really nice. He shook our hands, everything. We told him how excited we were. And I said to him, we're here because it's our 25th wedding anniversary. And he's like, oh, that's great, So I shook his hand. He called me honey, by the way.
Oh, he did?
He did.
Oh,
He called me honey.
That went a long way.
He called me
All right.
honey. We took a picture. I got a picture. I posted on Facebook.
Right, I saw that.
Yeah. So we start getting into the concert, and we're looking for our seats, and we realize that we're right against the stage.
Oh, my goodness.
2 seats right against the stage. We're like, how is this possible? I mean, and we looking around.
She really did hook you up,
There
huh?
were no empty seats anywhere. No empty seats. So how were there 2 seats right there against the stage? I was like, oh my God. So we're having a really good time, and all of a sudden, Chris Young stops and he says, he's been really lucky to meet a lot of people, and he's seen a lot of great loves in his life. This is what he says. And he says, he gives a shout out to his parents. He says his dad still sends his mom flowers on Valentine's Day. And then he goes on to say, and I met this couple backstage who were celebrating their 25th wedding anniversary. The whole crowd starts cheering. I was like, oh my
Did he
God.
point at you?
I'm screaming.
Did he see you?
Well, he went like this. Yeah. Like that. I was like, I can't believe it. He's like, so, this song is for you. You guys can dance or whatever. And I'm blown away. I got it. I found it on YouTube. Somebody in some
kidding?
seat somewhere in the concert filmed
That's pretty
him
crazy.
saying what he said and then singing the entire song that he had dedicated for us. I was like, no way, this isn't happening. It was really,
pretty
really,
crazy.
really crazy. So we have
Just
proof.
goes to show you nothing is sacred
We
anymore.
have proof. We have proof, and it was really, we had, and then
That's awesome.
we played the slot machines.
Oh.
I found my favorite machine.
Oh, I am not a slot machine person.
Well, I don't want to spend them. We have a lot of gambling in the family, so I have to, it's like alcoholism. You got to be careful. So the machine that I was hitting big on was the Wheel of Fortune.
Right.
I love that. I won $250 on the Wheel of Fortune.
Nice.
And then we went into the Hall of Lost Tribes. And I find this machine. And I'm looking at it. Now, you have to be careful. careful because there's like 10 lines, 25 lines. You have to be careful how many lines you play. And max, you can bet the max per line.
Right.
So you put $20 in, you hit max bet, and it's like gone. You're like, what happened?
Yeah.
But then I found
But
my
if you
machine.
hit, they're
But
big.
if you hit, but we didn't.
Yeah.
So
Easy come, easy go.
I found the quarter penny machine. It was
Quarter penny?
I took a picture. So the lady comes up to me. She's like, you're not supposed to be taking pictures in Mohegan. You can't take any pictures of the. And I'm like, oh no, I'm not. I'm taking a picture of the wolf on top. You see, it's a quarter of a cent. So now I hit, and the ding, 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 everything starts going crazy, and it's a lot of dinging. And I'm like, oh my God, what did I hit? Because I played all 25 lines, and I hit max bet. I don't know. I'm listening.
Is that the 250 winner?
This thing was like dinging for like 10 minutes. And it was like, ooh, my husband's looking. He's like, oh, hon, what'd you win? And I looked, the total, $3.12. Because it was the quarter penny machine. 20 minutes
funny.
worth of dinging got me $3.12.
Right. You were 1,200 quarter cent winner.
Yeah, exactly. But we had such a good time. I'm just not used to the cigarette smoke.
Oh,
they're allowed to
that's
smoke
gross.
in there. So I'm not used to that. Yeah, so I'm not, I'm an ex-smoker from when I was stupid in my teens. So you walk out of there and you're like, wow, you feel like you were really partying all day.
Yeah, right.
We had a great time.
Good.
We
Good to
really,
hear it.
really did.
Good to hear
So
it.
we're back to reality now. My
All right, now that we've been talking about all that, I'm glad back to reality. But we're going to take a short break and we'll be right back.
Quality and professionalism are two words that describe Ultra Home Inspections. Fully licensed, certified, and insured, their training and skill will provide you with all the information you'll need to make an educated decision on your home purchase or sale. Ultra Inspection serves Orange and Sullivan counties in New York and Pike and Wayne County in Pennsylvania. Call 845-545-0960 or check out all their services by visiting their website at www.ultrahomeinspections.com. Master Pest Control is proud to be a sponsor of the Home and Mortgage Show. When the time comes to buy a house, you will be faced with a lot of important choices. Having a home inspection is a critical part of the process, so choose wisely. Masters Pest Control has over 30 years of residential pest control experience, and they work closely with Ultra Home Inspections. That means you get 2 inspectors for the price of 1. Better value, exceptional service. Consider Masters Pest Control. Call toll-free 877-656-2024. That's 877-656-2024.
Hey, this is Joe Dans. Connect the dots in these challenging times with my creativity and technology for business and life show every Wednesday at 11 a.m. on WTBQ, AM 1110 and FM 93.5. Radio worth listening to.
Hi, this is Benoit Turpin with Pleasant Stone Farm. Please join me for my half-hour program called Living Green, Living Healthy, and Supporting Your Local Community. Mondays at 12:30 p.m. See you then.
WTBQ.
Hi, thank you for joining us once again. Welcome back.
We cooled off a little bit.
Yes, a little hot in
That
here.
heat came on. We had
Maybe those foot warmers are still in your boots.
No, that heat came on. It was pretty hot. We
Yeah.
had to open the door. So hopefully we won't hear too much noise.
And we want to welcome our guest coming and joining us today, Geoffrey Howard of Energize Warwick and Sustainable Warwick. Thank
Good
you
morning.
for coming. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning to both of you.
Thank you for
Pleasure
joining
to be
us.
here.
No, thank you for joining us. I know it wasn't actually today's a holiday, right?
It is. It is.
It's
President's
President's
holiday.
Day. Yeah, I forgot about
It
that.
is.
Thank
Less
you.
traffic on the road
Yeah,
this morning.
yeah.
No buses.
No snow on the road?
No snow on the road.
Until tonight, until tomorrow.
Yeah, that's unbelievable.
I don't ski. I wish I skied. This would
It's
be
a good
great.
season to ski.
It would be a good time. Yeah,
It is a
yeah.
good season.
But I had actually found an article. I believe it was in the Warwick Advertiser about you, and Sustainable Warwick, Energize Warwick, Energize New York, and it drew my attention, and I thought, what a great opportunity to have Jeff on the show and talk to everybody about saving energy, lowering your utility bills, and
the energy
bringing
audits,
your house up to
right?
snuff.
Things-
Yeah, bringing your house up to snuff.
Yeah,
having
I'm
an
very
audit.
interested in that, actually.
So tell us a little bit about who you are and where you're from.
Okay, I'm Geoff Howard. I'm from Warwick. I've lived here full-time since 1980 and part-time since almost when I was born.
Wow.
Which was 71 years ago. But right now, Sustainable Warwick is an organization, kind of as the name suggests, we take issues of sustainability and try to bring them down to the local level. What does it mean here? What can we do here?
Mm-hmm.
How can we make a difference in this community? The Energize Warwick program is something that is part of a much bigger New York State program, as you correctly said, called Energize New York.
Mm-hmm.
And we've taken it and made it local and our own. And essentially, New York State decided, and other states have too, that one of the big losses of energy is through home inefficiency.
Mm-hmm.
You know, literally, energy goes out the roof, goes out the windows, huge collective loss of energy, huge cost to homeowners and to the environment. So the state put a lot of incentives behind getting people to weatherize or update their homes in terms of energy efficiency. That's the big program.
Okay.
What it is in Warwick, it's the same program, but we have a couple of local embellishments. One of Sustainable Warwick members, a guy named Bill Makowski, is a professor of, let's just say energy economics and he in fact has done a lot of the training for the technicians who do the home improvement companies to get them certified. He makes himself available to homeowners if they have any questions.
Is there a name of that certification that people would be able to identify a contractor?
I'm sure there is a name. I'm sure I don't know it.
It's okay.
But they are certified.
They're certified.
We have a list of 6 contractors in the, let's say, the immediate area who work in Warwick. It's one of the things we make available to people who sign up. Bill is there to answer questions. The way the program is structured, you apply to the state, and it's to NYSERDA, NYSERDA, New York State Energy and Energy Resources, something like that.
NYSERDA.
NYSERDA.
Dot something? Is there?
I'm sure
Well,
there's a
you
website.
could just Google
Okay.
NYSERDA. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. And you apply. It's a fairly easy process. As a matter of fact, it's a very easy process. When you are approved, you select a contractor. The contractor comes in and does an audit, what's called an audit or an
All right,
assessment.
so that's basically what you're applying for, an assessment or an
Of
audit.
your home.
Okay. Okay.
And for 92% of people, it's free. It's
Wow.
income-based. I think the number is something like over $174,000 annually you have to pay. But I'm not sure of these
Right,
exact
right.
numbers,
Wow.
but it's like 174 to 250. You pay $50.
But for $50, how can you go wrong?
no,
I mean,
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I'm saying
So-
for 92%, it's pure free.
So let's
wouldn't you
let's
do
take a step back, but let's back up and let's say I'm a homeowner, right? I want to find out how to make my home more energy efficient.
Right.
Right. Do they? I would assume they go to a, an Energize Warwick or a Sustainable Warwick, right? They come to you and they say, "Can you do an audit on my home first?"
No, they
not
have
exactly.
to do the apply. You have to apply first.
They apply first, and the application is through NYSERDA, but we can supply the applications to anybody.
But what are they applying for? They're applying for that audit first.
Yes, that's the first step.
Okay.
And as I say, it's free for most people.
So the application is free for that income, the
Well, the
income limits that
application
you
is
were talking about.
100% free. Nobody pays for the application. The assessment, if you want to consider the application the first step, then the assessment would be the second step. That's free for most people. You know, you raised an interesting question when you said, I have a house and I want to do something. A lot of people say, my house is drafty, I know I'm losing energy, or my electric bill, my utility bills are through the roof, especially when it's really cold.
Yeah, I almost had a
And
heart
so-
attack when I got mine the other day.
Exactly. So that represents a real opportunity for homeowners to do something about it. They can either say, well, there's nothing to be done and I'm just going to have to live like this, or they can, this represents a really attractive way of solving that problem. So you apply for the assessment. You apply and you get an assessment.
Okay.
The assessment is pretty thorough. It takes, and these are the professionals that
And
come in.
these are one of these certified individuals. Okay.
Yeah, and sometimes there are 2 or 3 that come in to do it. They will crawl all over your house. It takes several hours. And again, it's free. They have,
And they are doing it for NYSERDA.
yes. Now they're getting paid by the state.
Okay.
So they're not, this isn't charity for them, although
well,
they're really getting a very minimal payment for that kind of service.
Sure,
Okay.
they're getting more exposure than anything to you as a homeowner and them as a
Well,
contractor.
they're really, probably, truth be told, if they do their job correctly, and they do, they're losing a little money.
oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure.
They
So
come
now-
out with a report
All
within
right.
a couple of weeks. That report will list, depending on the house, 4, 8, 10 different things you can do to energize, improve your home.
Okay.
Each item tells you how much it will cost.
Oh, so you get an estimate with that. So
how
you
much
get a report.
it'll cost,
Okay.
and how much you'll save per month.
by putting that improvement in.
Oh.
So you can, and then you can make a decision. I want to do this one, this one, this one, not this one, this one, this one. Typically, let's say it will save you $20 a month, that particular item. And it might cost $2,000. $20 a month is $240 a year. So that would pay you back to do that over
In 8
8
years.
years.
Right.
Right.
That's about 12% rate of return, if you want to think of it that way.
Right.
Most people would be happy to pay $2,000 and get 24-month check every month. I mean, I don't know what your accounts make, but
Michael's loaded. He don't need the money.
yeah. But
Independently wealthy.
anyway, so that's the second part of it. You get the report and you make a decision. And that's where someone like Bill Makowski really comes in, because people are often not experts. They don't know this methodology.
So now, so you have these certified individuals. One comes in is one certified in the electrical, one is in plumbing, one is in heating.
No, it
how
doesn't-
does that work?
They are certified home improvement contractors.
Okay, so they're looking at the whole picture. It's not one guy's looking at your heating furnace and the other guy's looking at something else. They're doing it together.
And that's actually a very good point, because they don't only look at the strictly energy things. They'll look at health things.
Oh.
They'll look at carbon monoxide. They'll look at mold. They'll look at a whole series of issues.
Things that people wouldn't think about.
Right,
I would
right.
never thought of that. I figured roof, windows, doors, you
Right,
know, things
right.
where you could lose energy from.
And they do all that, plus all this other stuff.
Wow.
So you make your decision what you're going to do. You sign up with that contractor. And one of the questions that come up, well, gee, if I want to do contract work, I want to interview 3 or 4 or 5 contractors and get estimates.
Okay. I was going to ask that.
One of the issues with this is because the contractors, they lose money on the audit.
Right.
They're not really interested in coming in and doing the audit and then not doing the work. Secondarily, a new contractor isn't interested in coming in. They're going to have to do their own audit to see
Right, to
what's
see what
necessary.
areas, right.
And they don't get paid for that because the state only pays for one audit. So that is a built-in issue.
Okay.
We think it's working quite well.
All right.
As with any contractor situation, they work for 10 jobs and 8 people are really happy and
Right.
one person is a little uncertain and one person's
You always have that grumpy person.
Yeah, of course.
But all I'm saying is,
Michael Giannetto.
but there is, I would say, even the best part is yet to come. And that is that there are a variety of ways you can pay for this. You can simply write out a check, right? You can.
I'll just feed him. I'll just make,
Yeah.
I'll just
I'll
make
make him some
macaroni and
meatballs,
meatballs.
Janine.
Right?
Well, actually, Janine, that's not one of the options.
Okay. It should be.
I think NYSERDA supports that.
Right. But you can pay for it. You can get a loan for the full amount.
Where do you get the loan from?
It's somewhere built into the system.
Okay. But it's available.
It's available. But
Okay.
the best part of the option that a lot of people choose is to get a loan and to pay it back on what's called on-bill financing. Mm-hmm. And the best way to
I
explain
read that on the
here it is.
website.
The
Yeah.
best way to explain it, I think, is imagine you pay $300 a month, utilities. When you do these improvements, your utility bill goes down to $250 a month. Okay? Let's say it costs $6,000 to do the work. They will treat that as a $6,000 loan, which you will pay back $45 a month on your electric bill. So your electric bill was $300. Mm-hmm. It goes down to $250. They add the finance charge. It's up to $295. So your electricity bill is slightly less than it was, and you haven't shelled out $1 for this work.
Oh, I get that.
Yeah, that's a great. It's
I
a
get
great.
that. So you just
aspect
keep
of the
paying what
program.
you were kind of paying.
Until
Exactly.
Until
the
it
loan
balances out.
Until the loan is paid off, of
Yeah.
course.
Now you could pay it
then-
off if you wanted to. And
Absolutely, you always have that.
But who
option.
sponsors that? The utility companies sponsor that?
No, it's the
Or NYSERDA
It's
does it.
NYSERDA does it, although the payment goes through.
Oh, we got
Okay.
more questions about that. Yeah.
Anyway, so you get an idea.
Happy New Year! Now celebrate by gifting yourself and your family with a new kitchen and let the professionals at Hudson Valley Kitchen Design take your dreams and make them into a reality, from concept to installation and everything in between. Our well-trained, courteous staff will customize your new kitchen while keeping it within your budget. Start living the dream by calling 845-294-8242, and we'll have you cooking on your new stove in no time. For all the do-it-yourselfers, builders, and contractors, we invite you to our retail showroom located at 2713 Route 17M in Goshen. And please like us on Facebook at the Hudson Valley Kitchen Design. Call 845-294-9068. We will make your dreams a reality in 2014.
This is Sister Anna. Listen to The Garden of the Child, a story discussion time with students. Story develops listening skills and imagination. Saturdays at 11:10 a.m. on WTBQ.
Hey everybody, this is Rachel Ray. Join me today and every weekday with Rach on the radio. I'll have tips to save you money, celebrity chit-chat, and of course, food. All from the kitchen table of our Emmy Award-winning show, Rachel Ray.
Weekdays at 12:30.
WTBQ weather.
Increasing cloudiness after morning sunshine and cold today, 25 to 30. Tonight, snow coming in after midnight and a low near 20. It could come down hard at times towards morning, with 3 to 5 inches possible before it tapers off by afternoon. The high should reach into the low and mid-30s. Mostly cloudy tomorrow night. There'll be patchy fog around in the mid-20s, and clouds and sun on Wednesday. Could be a rain or snow shower in the afternoon with a high around 40. This is meteorologist Tony Salimo from the WTBQ Weather Center.
go. Now we're
Oh,
back.
there
We're
we go.
cooking
Now
now.
we're back. That's right. Thank you for joining us once
Here's our
again.
music.
Welcome back.
Yeah, listen, if you have any calls for Jeff, the number 651-1110, call in. This is a great opportunity for you to get some information on saving, lowering your utility bills, saving some energy, getting an audit on your home.
And winding up with a much warmer,
Cozy
house in
house.
winter,
Yeah.
cooler house in summer.
Yeah, that's true too. You got to
absolutely.
look at it the flip side. It's
I
not
will
just
tell
for
you,
that.
I had this past year, probably last spring, spring of 13, I had a home inspector who is a good friend of mine come over, go through the house with me, and told me a bunch of things that I could do to be energy efficient in the house. These were inexpensive little things to do that were not big, contractor type work. This was, do it yourself.
Right.
Run
And
to Home Depot. Get those little wraps for your pipes.
yeah, the wrapping of the pipes is a good one.
Yep.
He explained to me, this gentleman, he knows the science of the whole thing. So he explained to me two things. Down in my basement area, above the sill plate, right, those areas and those rafters, right? Or I don't know if those are rafters, right?
Joyce.
Joyce,
Joyce.
yeah, Michael.
Okay, so there you go. That's why I don't
Good thing
build
he don't
houses.
sell the houses. He just mortgages them.
So in those joists, right, in the end of them, where it meets the edge of the house, to seal those off, right, and make sure that there's no air coming through those ends that meets the plywood at the exterior of the house, right? Seal those. That was the first thing that would prevent the air from coming up through the basement, through the entire house, and going out through the attic, right? And then the second thing he told me was in the attic, the floor of the attic, right, to actually go and seal the where those joists meet the sheetrock from the ceiling of the second floor,
Right.
and seal up around there, and you won't have because sheetrock is actually permeable, so it allows air to come through.
See,
So-
I'm a fan of breathing. So I'm afraid that if you make your house too tight, it's going to get all...
He did mention that, actually.
That's a
He
thing
did
I need
mention
to
that.
ask about. You don't want to make your
He
house
did
too
mention that.
tight. I like to breathe. So,
Well,
and your house should be able to breathe a little too, right?
I think most people would be in your camp liking to breathe.
You
Or the ones that
I see
aren't
people
with
put
us.
plastic over their windows. I'm like, take the plastic down.
It's better than on the couches, right?
Well, yeah. No, that you just lose your flesh on. But yeah, so I don't know about that whole covering your windows with plastic. So we can talk about that.
Let me say, there is, in theory, a way you can tighten your house too much. And so that, let's say if you had a fire in the fireplace and it's drawing oxygen in, that needs to draw oxygen.
Absolutely,
from
it'll
the
burn
outside.
whatever you got left, and
No, it'll just burn up the oxygen.
Yeah, you don't want to do
but
that.
That's maybe 3% of the population might have to worry about that.
Really?
97%.
Some people overdo it.
97%
Okay.
have to worry about
The opposite.
the leaky houses.
Right.
We had this process done at our house. And the audit process is fascinating. They do an infrared photography, and infrared looks for differences in
Temperature.
In temperature.
Right. I've seen that
I thought
gone.
they were doing like EVP sessions in the house. I got you.
And so you see all these.
Infrared.
They can't aim that at you because your power surges will blow it up. It'd be
you
just
see
big red ball.
In the corners of the room, there are these cold spots, and that represents where.
So now, as a homeowner, are you allowed to go through as they're doing the audit? You walk
Absolutely, and
through
you
the home with
should.
them, because there might be some things that you can do on your own without having to hire anybody. Correct?
Yes, but we found that if your home is so energy efficient that they're not going to find much,
Okay.
you're probably an expert on it already, and you've been doing it yourself. And you may not. The only people that are really not good candidates for this are those people that have such energy efficient homes. For instance, I mentioned Bill Makovsky. I mean, it would be silly for people to come in there. I mean, his house is. He's one of the ones that actually is aware of not making the house too tight.
Okay.
But his house is very energy efficient. As a matter of fact, they use almost no energy. They have solar Such high insulation.
I like that idea. My husband always wanted solar.
Yeah. The problem, I had somebody come to my house for the solar also, and they said that I can only generate a third of the energy that I use throughout the year. So the cost did not equate to
Really?
to a situation where it made sense.
Now, why would that be?
Maybe over 30 years it might
Why
make
would
sense.
that be? Your house has to be facing a
Yeah,
certain way to
absolutely.
maximize
the coverage
this.
on the roof that they can
Gotcha.
put the
The
solar
house
on.
has to have significant southern exposure that's not shaded.
Southern exposure. Gotcha.
Yeah.
I face west.
Depending on exactly how far away, is it pure west or southwest, it might be possible. But I forget the number, but only a small percentage of homes will qualify.
Really benefit from that. Okay,
Yeah.
that's good to know too. Cause
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
And I remember the number. My house, I use 18,000 kilowatts per year, and I was only able to generate about 6,000 per year.
Well, we don't cover.
Useless
You use
number.
gigawatts.
Useless number.
No,
Yeah,
wait
gigawatts.
Gigawatts. You
Is
don't
that
use
from Back to the
kilowatts.
Future?
Mike Gianetto uses
Is that from Back to the
gigawatts.
Future?
Yeah, it is.
Gigawatts. Christopher Lloyd. Guy's great.
But the thing is, if you can't cover 100% of your utility, it doesn't mean it's not a worthwhile thing.
Right. It's just the length of time that you're going to make up the cost.
It means you look at how much your electricity bill will go down, and how much you'll be paying for the
Right.
system.
Right.
So you should also look at, how long you plan on living in your home. Okay. Also, resale value. How does that help? If you're going to put your house on the market, you could say, look, I had an energy audit of my home.
That's a great question.
I know. That's why I asked it.
No, because
Let me pat you on the back now.
Go ahead.
the multiple listing system has now added a box or
Yes.
a thing about energy efficiency.
Yes, they did. And if we do have it, then we upload the report.
Exactly.
See?
Wait, I
know
missed
these
that. What was
things.
it?
There's a field. There's different
A
fields
field
when we
is-
put a listing in. There's a
in
field now
MLS?
that they ask, if the house is energy efficient, and then if you check off yes, then you have to provide a copy of that report to prove that you've had the audit of the house,
Oh.
and you're disclosing that.
If you've done the work, your house is worth more because the utility bill is now
Right. The
50 or
savings for the new
60.
buyer. Right.
Yeah, that doesn't go away when you sell the house. Of
Right.
course, it stays with the
Now,
house.
can they transfer that cost? If somebody's paying that back over a certain period of time, and then now a new buyer is going to come in.
Yes,
and now
the
they're
answer is
gonna-
yes.
Okay.
And I know it's possible. And one of the people from NYSERDA that we work with very closely, another benefit of this Sustainable Warwick program, she is a customer advocate. And she can answer all of these kinds of questions, and not so much the technical kind. That's Bill Makowski.
Right.
But Meredith Nierenberg knows everything about financing options and the kinds of questions homeowners would have, not technical questions.
So now, let me ask you this. Then, if you're paying for this like $50 a month, is that money then being bled to the contractor, to the certified individual?
that-
I mean, are they going to get paid in full?
They do.
But from New York State, and then this just reimburses the state back? Like, how does that work? I feel bad if somebody's going to come and do $4,000 worth of work to my house to make them wait $50.
No, the state pay.
Okay.
They get paid, and this is the financing mechanism to pay
Back
the
this-
system.
Gotcha. Okay.
However that's defined.
Yeah, just wanted to
No.
clarify that.
Now, are there additional tax credits from NYSERDA? I know there used to be, or maybe it's on the commercial side, but there used to be some tax credits from NYSERDA to do the energy efficient upgrades as well.
It's a question I should know the answer to, and I don't. But that's exactly the kind of question that Meredith Nierenberg would know. And if
Well, we're
someone,
going to have to get Meredith in here.
Yeah.
she would be very happy to do that.
Yeah.
Matter of fact,
Okay.
I wish I
Meredith
You have to
Bill.
hook us up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good because this is a lot of good information that homeowners need to know just for helping reduce expenses and, bringing their home up to snuff while they're living there. And then down the road, if they want to sell, it just puts their house in a better light.
Yeah,
and who
absolutely.
don't want to save money? I mean, oh my God, it's just literally, when the heat is going out, you don't have weather stripping properly around your front door. That heat's just
gone.
pouring out of the house.
And a lot of people sort of know it instinctively. Their house is drafty.
Yeah, of course,
There
of
are
course,
rooms
you know.
they don't use in winter because it's too cold. And we've had people who've gone through the system. They say, oh, What a difference.
Yeah, instead of having that cat with its legs out like this by the front door to save on the draft, you should put the cat I'm talking about, that stuffed cat?
No.
You have no idea. Come on, Rich, help me. You know that stuffed cat,
Yeah.
that door drafter thing? It's that stuffed
Oh,
material.
yes.
It looks like a cat. And
Oh,
its
I
legs
have
are out
one
like
that's a long stuffed thing.
Instead of putting
It's
that,
decorative.
as cute as
I
it
don't
is,
have a
it's
dead
not
cat in
saving you
front of my
money.
door.
There is.
I almost had to bleep myself. Almost called your name. We're going to take a break, and we're going to be right back.
O'Keefe & McCann, one of the premier real estate law firms in Orange County, is happy to provide assistance to you whether you are buying, selling, refinancing, or you just need clear answers to your real estate questions. Now celebrating over 13 years in the Hudson Valley, William O'Keefe and Michael McCann will clarify the entire process of buying or selling your home. If your world feels like it's been turned upside down, call us. We can help. You will always receive prompt and definitive answers to all of your legal questions by telephone, text, or email. Remember, whether you're buying or selling a home or just need help in keeping the one you already own and you're just not sure where to turn to, call O'Keefe & McCann first at 845-615-8500. With 3 convenient locations in Goshen, New Windsor, and Port Jervis, they are always at your service. O'Keefe & McCann, the #1 law firm for all of your legal needs. They always have your best interest at heart. Call 845-615-8500 to set up a consultation or visit their website at o'keefe-mccann.com.
Hi, I'm Kevin Sweeney.
And I'm Lisa Mulcahy.
We host Greenwood Lake Radio right here on WTBQ.
Tune in every Friday, 11 a.m. to 12 noon.
All Greenwood Lake?
All the time.
Find us on Facebook.
We love lakes.
This is Dave Dirks, outdoor columnist for the Times-Herald Record. Join me Saturday mornings from 7 to 8 a.m. for the Dirks Outdoors radio show. Each week, I'll have outdoor personalities from a variety of outdoor sports. That's the Dirks Outdoors show, Saturday mornings right here on WTBQ.
WTBQ.
Hi, welcome back. Thank you for joining us again on the Home and Mortgage Show.
651-1110. I'm surprised nobody's called in. This is a good topic to ask questions about. Yeah. So, how can people? Did you see my pen? How can people reach? Do people contact you, or should they just go to the?
Couple of ways.
Let's give some information out.
Sustainable Warwick has a website, sustainablewarwick.org, and there's information. One of the major tabs is about the Energize program, so that's one way. They also can contact me directly, and I'm perfectly okay with that. The name is Geoff Howard. The email address is Howards, plural, Howards, at warwick.net. And you can even, I'm okay if you call, 986-1710. We can answer any of your questions. We can get you a packet of information. And,
this is great.
Yeah, this is great.
Now, what area do you cover? I know it's Sustainable Warwick, but now that's for the whole town of Warwick, or do you go beyond that?
It's definitely the town of Warwick. We have some organizations like the choir, and I'll talk to you a little bit, moment about how we work with nonprofits.
Okay.
But some of the nonprofits who are encouraging their members to do this, they have been outside of Warwick. As long as they're in New York State, I don't know if we're not talking about Buffalo now, but
right.
If they're in Goshen or Minnesink or something like that, we can do it. The donation, which I'll talk about in a minute.
So at least like Orange County, like within the county.
Absolutely.
Okay.
We've sort of informally said a 50-mile radius.
Okay.
And that does not include New Jersey, unfortunately, because it is
a different
NYSERDA.
Yeah, right.
And tell you said when we were taking a break about the goal that you have.
Yeah.
How many houses was that?
Well, our goal was 200 houses. We're just in the early stages of the program. We've got about, I don't know the exact number, 21 or 22 completed.
So this is a newer program. This is something that
Yes.
How recently rolled out?
Yes.
Okay.
It has recently rolled out, and we have maybe another 30 or 40 homes in the pipeline.
Wow.
And as I say, our goal is 200. And one of the things that's very interesting is we worked with a group of local sponsors who have put up a fund that will make it possible for everybody who goes through the program. At the end of it, they get a $200 donation made in their name to any Warwick area nonprofit. And so I have the pleasant task of writing those checks.
Wow.
So, I mean, I've written checks to several
It's a great incentive.
to the Humane Society, several of the churches, Winslow.
What a great thing.
Yeah,
it is.
it
and I
really
think
is.
What a nice
Nobody's going to do it just for the $200
No,
donation.
no, but it's
a very nice thing.
Yeah, it's a nice give back.
Yeah,
it's a nice give back.
And the sponsors who do this feel that their money kind of works twice.
Mm-hmm.
Once to sort of incent the people to do the work, and then to pump
So
money
now
into
you said your goal is 200 houses. What, can we do more than that? Is there
we can.
funds for beyond 200 homes, or?
I would put it this way. If we get close to that number, the funds will appear.
Okay.
Right, I'm
All
sure
right,
if you have
it's
big
a-
success.
Yeah, you never know.
What
It's
is
a
your time frame?
Especially after this winter. Look, we haven't had this much snow in years. I'm sure, once we
Well-
melt, people are going to be putting their houses on the market, or they're going to be getting energy audits. One
Absolutely.
or the other,
Energy
because
audits
they're
are
done.
improvements. I think you're going to have a big blockbuster
that's what we're
roof
hoping.
replacement year. Those, the roofers out there are going to
yeah.
do fantastic.
I had
this
seen
year.
somebody, I don't want to say brooming, sweeping and shoveling the snow off the roof of
yeah.
his house.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean, the
obviously-
icicles that are hanging.
I
on
was
some
just
of these
going to say
houses.
that some of them are really impressive.
We
You
actually
gotta
have a
be
friend.
careful,
Actually,
you don't
on
wanna walk
Facebook,
near that. That's
we have
gonna
a
be
friend that
dangerous.
the daughter was walking out of the garage. An icicle fell
Oh, my
off the
God.
garage, hit her right above her her eyebrow, and cut her open. They had to go get stitches.
Yeah.
Yes, she got 3 or 4 stitches right above her eyebrow.
Oh, and I was going to make a joke about Little Ralphie and Christmas Story.
That's one of our
But
favorite
now I
movies.
don't.
One of our favorite movies. It's great. It's such a great
one
movie.
of the.
I want the lamp, by the way. I
think
want
we
one of the
have-
big
we have
lamps.
the lamp. We got that lamp. We got the lamp.
I'm not an expert on the technology of home audits or home efficiency, but I believe icicles are a real telltale sign of a problem, because what icicles mean is heat is escaping through the roof,
It's
melting the
melting it,
water,
right.
and as that comes down,
Right,
it
the cold air is
freezes.
refreezing it.
So a house without icicles is a well-insulated house.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
No, I got to go check all around my house.
We're all going
If I could, I can't even get around my house. There's so much snow. I need snowshoes.
I can't walk on my front lawn. My poor dogs.
Oh God! I got to show you the picture. I had to dig out for the dog. I had to dig out an area just for him. It's 2.5 feet high, and he's a little 9-pound Yorkie running. He's buried in there. It's so funny.
It's a problem. What are you going to do? The groundhog said what? What did that stupid groundhog
Yeah,
say? I hate this
It's the most
groundhog.
ridiculous thing I've ever
Boy.
heard. We all know it's going to go until March 21st.
But it was a great movie.
Oh,
Yes,
that was a
great
good movie.
movie.
Bill
Yeah.
Murray.
Yes,
yeah,
that was
that was a very good movie.
So this goal, 200 houses. You have the great give back. I think people will.
So then, what's not to do? Why wouldn't you do it?
Right. I mean, it sounds like
Why wouldn't you do
it's
it?
a too good to be true. A real.
What's the catch?
There is no catch.
I like
obviously,
no. There's got to
but
be a catch. There's got to be a catch.
but
There's
it's-
always a catch.
What you're saying is we have a list of FAQs, frequently asked questions, and the last one on the list, I think, is, this sounds too good to be true. What's the catch? And there really is no catch. I mean, you hear that all the time in advertising slogans. But this is because the state has recognized, not just the state, everyone's concerned about
Energy.
climate change,
Oh,
energy
yeah, global
conservation.
warming.
Yeah. Al Gore.
The biggest loss of the biggest energy waste globally by far is inefficient housing. That is how energy gets wasted. If you could wave a magic wand and make every house energy efficient, the amount of energy that would be conserved, the number is huge. New York State sees it as the biggest thing they can do to bring.
That's interesting.
So that's why they have put their resources behind it.
Can I ask you a question? Is there any difference between somebody that has oil versus gas? That there's a percentage of who's going to be more energy efficient in a particular home?
I don't think it's
or anything?
oil versus gas. I think if you have older equipment,
Right.
then you can quote unquote conserve more. I mean, then the improvements make a difference.
Right. We have some older, more historic homes in the area.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how some of the, the furnaces and whatnot have been updated, and some of them, last for years and years and years.
Right.
But just because it's still working doesn't mean it's working in your best interest.
Right.
And again, if you remember when I said each thing they recommend, how much it costs, how much it saves.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's a home where they're recommending a new furnace, they'll tell you this is what it will cost, this is what it will save.
Now, do they ask you for a copy of your most recent electric utility bills?
Yeah.
Okay.
You get 24, you supply them with 24 months of electric bills. And,
Oh, wow.
And that's easy.
Okay.
You can.
Right.
and
Go
then-
right on the
you
website.
download them.
Yeah.
You go on the website.
You
yeah.
go to O&R. If you have electricity and an oil company, you can get them from both.
Okay.
But that's what they base. When they do their assessment, they will look at your bills and say, we will guarantee you will save you this much money.
Now, let me ask you a question. Does this, do they do anything with water? Like, do they go around and check to see, how many gallons you're using when you're flushing your toilet, and if you have a water saver in your faucets and shower heads? Do they look to conserve water too?
I don't know the answer to that, unfortunately.
Okay, but that would be good. I know my
Yeah.
husband, he cut us all down, when we had our, I don't know what the standard gallon is for
Yeah.
the toilet bowl, but I think you're down to like a gallon flush.
I think
or
it's
something.
1.3.
Yeah,
Yeah, 1.3.
And you have the shower head. You put the
Right.
little reducer in the shower head. So some people don't know that.
I don't do
and
that.
you don't.
I want a full blast.
Yeah, but I know what you're saying, but imagine if you're living in California.
Yeah, imagine that.
I did live in
Michael.
California. I still wanted a full blast.
Then I would have blamed you for.
Oh, you mean now with the
drying up California?
with the drought?
That would
Yeah,
have been
that
your
was
fault.
me. And I was outside washing my
because
car and the lawn.
You two have a lot in common. See, Michael needs all that water to get all that hair washed.
Yeah.
He's got to all that
Yeah, the chrome
conditioner.
dome.
He's got to do all. Yeah,
The money I save on shampoo a year is significant.
You guys should
An
be using
Aquanet.
that. No, you should be using that 3-in-1. It's all in one bottle now. The shampoo, the body wash. It's all. It's
I think that's a
easy
different
now.
show.
Oh. All right. So we don't know about the water.
Yeah.
But we can definitely get more information on that and post that on our Facebook page.
Yeah.
We're going to put the link on there. We'll put some more info. I mean, this is a ton of information. Why people won't do this is beyond me.
People
I agree.
will wind up with a house that is more comfortable all year round, with a house that's more valuable, with lower electric bills.
It's a no-brainer.
And
It is a win-win for a lot of
the
parties.
and the $200 donation. If we get 200 homes, that would be $40,000 pumped into all
How
those
nice is that?
organizations that do so much.
Wow. I love it.
All right, good.
I love it. I'm so glad this
Yeah.
was a great idea. I'm so glad I saw this in the Warwick Advertisement.
Yeah,
Thanks so
thank you
much,
very
Jeff.
much
Thank
for,
you so much for
joining us
coming
today.
on. We're going to have tons of information. We'll get Meredith on the show. Should be a great guest as well. I'm sure if you have any questions, she'd be the one to take it to the next level.
Yeah.
But we're going to. Actually, we're out of time. I'm just looking at.
Yeah, we're gonna post it on our Facebook
We're going to
page.
post it on our Facebook page.
Yes.
Yeah, we're out of time. This goes by so
And,
fast.
it does. Again, once again, thank you for joining us. Michael Giannetto with Residential Home Funding, licensed mortgage originator.
And I'm Janine Panarelli, licensed broker and owner of Panarelli Realty. You can find us on Facebook at The Home and Mortgage Show. So if you haven't already liked our page, please go on and like our page, The Home and Mortgage Show. And we will talk to you guys next week. Have a great
good week.
Thanks to you both.